The story of the Ottoman Empire is one of ambition, struggle, and ultimately vast power. It's a story that begins with Osman I, a young chieftain of a small Turkish tribe in Anatolia. In the late 13th century, the once mighty Seljuk Sultanate of Rum was crumbling, leaving a power vacuum in its wake. Osman, sensing an opportunity, declared his independence in 1299, marking the birth of the Ottoman dynasty. Osman was a shrewd leader and a skilled warrior. He understood the importance of building a strong military and forging alliances. His early victories against the Byzantines at Baphius in 1301 and Dimbos in 1302 cemented his reputation as a rising force in the region. These battles were not just about territorial gains. They were symbolic victories that announced the arrival of a new power on the world stage. Osman's success attracted the attention of many Turkish warriors and nomadic groups seeking stability and opportunity. They flocked to his banner, bolstering his ranks and further fueling his ambitions. The Byzantine Empire, already weakened by internal strife and external threats, found itself facing a formidable foe in Osman and his growing army. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations that would shape the destiny of the region for centuries to come. Osman I's early reigns established a pattern of expansion and consolidation that would characterize the Ottoman Empire's early years. He understood that to solidify his nascent state, he needed to capture strategically important cities. Nicaea, the former Seljuk capital and a bustling center of trade, was a prime target. After a lengthy siege, Osman's forces finally captured the city in 1331. This victory was a major turning point, marking a significant shift in power from the Byzantines to the Ottomans. With Nicaea under his control, Osman set his sights on Prusa, present-day Bursa, a wealthy city nestled at the foot of Mount Uludağ. Prusa, with its fertile lands and strategic location, was a prize worth fighting for. Osman's forces besieged the city for years, finally capturing it in 1326. Rather than sacking the city, Osman offered its citizens generous terms, integrating them into his growing realm. Prusa became the new Ottoman capital, a symbol of their growing power and prestige. These conquests had lasting consequences. The capture of Nicaea and Prusa not only gave the Ottomans control over vital trade routes and resources, but also provided them with a strategic foothold in Anatolia. The fall of these cities sent shockwaves throughout the region, signaling the decline of Byzantine power and the rise of a new empire on its borders. Osman's empire, though still in its infancy, was quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with. Osman I, the founder of the Ottoman Empire, died in 1326, leaving behind a legacy of ambition and expansion. His son Orhan inherited the throne and the mantle of leadership. But Orhan was not alone in his endeavor. His brother Aladdin played a crucial role in consolidating and expanding the Ottoman realm. Unlike the fraternal conflicts that plagued other empires, Orhan and Aladdin shared a deep bond of brotherhood and a unified vision for their future. Aladdin, recognizing Orhan's military acumen, chose to forego any claim to the throne. Instead, he devoted himself to the administration and organization of the newly conquered territories. He implemented a centralized system of governance, established a standing army, and introduced the first Ottoman silver coins, laying the foundation for a strong and stable state. His reforms ensured the smooth functioning of the empire and allowed Orhan to focus on military campaigns. Orhan, a brilliant strategist and a charismatic leader, continued his father's legacy of expansion. He understood that the Byzantine Empire, though weakened, still posed a significant threat. He focused his attention on the strategically important region of Thrace, across the Dardanelles Strait in Europe. Orhan's campaigns in Thrace would have far-reaching consequences, paving the way for the Ottoman Empire's transformation from a small Anatolian principality into a transcontinental power. Orhan I, recognizing the strategic importance of the Gallipoli Peninsula, a narrow strait separating Europe from Asia, made it a key target in his expansion plans. The capture of Gallipoli would not only provide the Ottomans with a foothold in Europe, but also give them control over the vital sea lanes connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. In 1354, Orhan's forces, bolstered by Turkish Ghazi warriors eager for conquest and plunder, crossed the Dardanelles and laid siege to Gallipoli. The Byzantine defenders, weakened by years of internal strife, could not withstand the Ottoman onslaught. The city fell to Orhan's forces, marking a pivotal moment in Ottoman history. The conquest of Gallipoli opened the gates to Europe, paving the way for centuries of Ottoman expansion into the Balkans. Orhan's victory sent shockwaves throughout Europe. The Christian kingdoms of the Balkans, long accustomed to Byzantine dominance, now faced a new and formidable foe. The fall of Gallipoli was not just a military defeat for the Byzantines, it was a symbolic event that signaled the arrival of a new power in Europe, one that would challenge the existing political order and reshape the destiny of the continent. The year is 1360. Orhan, the architect of Ottoman expansion into Europe, is on his deathbed. His long and prosperous reign, marked by conquest and consolidation, is coming to an end. As his strength fades, he calls for his son, Murad, a young man of immense promise and ambition. Orhan, with a heavy heart but a mind filled with pride, entrusts his heir with the future of the empire. "My son," he whispers, his voice raspy with age, "I leave you a state built on courage, justice and faith. Never stray from these virtues, for they are the pillars upon which our greatness rests." Murad, his eyes filled with both sorrow and determination, kneels beside his father's bed and vows to uphold his legacy. He promises to expand the empire's borders, to rule with wisdom and compassion, and to bring glory to the Ottoman name. Orhan, his final duty fulfilled, draws his last breath and passes into the annals of history. The news of his death spreads quickly throughout the empire and beyond, met with both mourning and anticipation. Murad, now Sultan Murad I, ascends to the throne, ready to face the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. He inherits a powerful and ambitious state, poised on the brink of even greater conquests. Murad I, despite a physical deformity that earned him the epithet the Hunchback, possessed a sharp mind and an iron will. He understood that to secure his hold on power and continue his father's legacy of expansion, he needed to consolidate his authority and quell any internal dissent. His first challenge came from his own brother, Shehzada Halil, who, fueled by ambition and encouraged by opportunistic nobles, laid claim to the throne. The ensuing conflict, though brief, threatened to plunge the newly established empire into chaos. Murad, however, acted swiftly and decisively. He rallied his loyal forces and marched against his brother's army. The two sides clashed in a bloody battle, the outcome of which would determine the fate of the Ottoman dynasty. Murad, displaying the strategic brilliance that would characterize his reign, outmaneuvered his brother's forces and emerged victorious. Shehzada Halil was captured and executed, a harsh but necessary act to secure Murad's grip on power. This victory served as a brutal reminder to any potential rivals. The Ottoman throne was not to be contested. With internal threats quelled, Murad turned his attention outwards towards the rich and fertile lands of the Balkans, ripe for conquest. Section 7, A Clash of Titans, Maritza, Kosovo, and the Challenges of Expansion. Murad I's reign marked a period of significant expansion for the Ottoman Empire, but it was not without its challenges. The Balkan kingdoms, recognizing the growing Ottoman threat, formed a powerful coalition to halt their advance. In 1371, the Ottoman army, led by Murad himself, clashed with the Serbian-led coalition at the Battle of Maritza, near the Maritza River. The battle was a resounding Ottoman victory, a testament to Murad's military genius and the discipline of his soldiers. The Battle of Maritza had far-reaching consequences. It shattered the Balkan coalition, paving the way for further Ottoman expansion into the region. The Serbian prince, Lazar, though defeated, refused to submit to Ottoman rule. He rallied his forces, seeking assistance from neighboring kingdoms, and prepared for a final stand against the Ottoman might. In 1389, the two armies met again on the field of Blackbirds, near Kosovo. The Battle of Kosovo, as it came to be known, was one of the most significant battles in medieval Balkan history. It was a brutal and bloody affair, with heavy casualties on both sides. Murad I, while leading his troops with characteristic valor, was assassinated by a Serbian nobleman, Milos Obilic, who had infiltrated the Ottoman camp under the pretense of surrender. Section 8. The thunderbolt, Bayezid I's lightning strikes across Anatolia and the Balkans. The death of Murad I at Kosovo could have spelled disaster for the Ottoman Empire. Instead, it ushered in the reign of one of its most formidable sultans, Bayezid I, known as the Thunderbolt, for his lightning-fast campaigns and ruthless ambition. Upon assuming the throne, Bayezid wasted no time in consolidating his power. He ruthlessly eliminated his rivals, including his own brother Yaqub, effectively ending the practice of fratricide that had plagued previous successions. With his grip on power secure, Bayezid turned his attention to expanding the empire's frontiers. He launched a series of swift and devastating campaigns in both Anatolia and the Balkans, crushing any resistance in his path. His military prowess and strategic brilliance earned him both fear and respect from his enemies. He conquered large swathes of territory, bringing wealthy cities like Thessaloniki, Athens and Vidin under Ottoman control. Bayezid's ambition knew no bounds. He dreamed of conquering Constantinople, the jewel of the Byzantine Empire, and a prize that had eluded his predecessors. He laid siege to the city, its once impenetrable walls now crumbling under the weight of Ottoman might. The fall of Constantinople seemed inevitable, an event that would have shifted the balance of power in the region and marked the end of an era. Section 9. The Scourge of God. Timur's shadow falls upon the Ottoman Empire. At the zenith of his power, Bayezid faced a new and formidable foe. Timur, also known as Tamerlane, a Turco-Mongol conqueror from Central Asia. Timur, with an army as vast as the steppes from which he hailed, carved a path of destruction across Persia, Mesopotamia, and the Caucasus. He viewed Bayezid's growing empire as a threat to his own ambitions and sought to crush the Ottoman Sultan's power. The two empires clashed in 1402 at the Battle of Ankara, a colossal confrontation that would decide the fate of the Ottoman Empire. The battle was a disaster for Bayezid. His army, weakened by years of campaigning and overconfident in their invincibility, crumbled under the onslaught of Timur's well-disciplined and battle-hardened forces. Bayezid himself was captured, a humiliating defeat for the Sultan who had once seemed invincible. The defeat at Ankara had catastrophic consequences for the Ottoman Empire. The empire, once on the verge of conquering Constantinople and becoming the dominant power in the region, was plunged into chaos. Bayezid, shattered by his defeat, died in captivity a year later, leaving his sons to fight amongst themselves for the remnants of his empire. The Ottoman dream of conquest was put on hold, its future uncertain. Section 10. Legacy of the early Ottomans, a foundation for centuries of power. The early Ottoman Empire, from the rise of Osman I to the tumultuous reign of Bayezid I, was a period of remarkable growth, ambition, and ultimately vulnerability. These early sultans, through a combination of military prowess, strategic brilliance, and ruthless pragmatism, laid the foundations for one of the largest and longest-lasting empires in history. Their conquests transformed the political landscape of both Anatolia and the Balkans, shifting the balance of power and paving the way for the Ottoman Empire's eventual dominance in the region. However, the defeat at Ankara served as a stark reminder that even the most powerful empires are not invincible. The Ottoman interregnum that followed Bayezid's death, a decade of fraternal conflict and instability, nearly shattered the empire. Yet from these ashes, the Ottomans would rise again, stronger and more determined than ever before. The lessons learned from their early triumphs and setbacks would shape their future conquests and contribute to the empire's enduring legacy. The early Ottomans were not just conquerors, they were builders and administrators. They established a sophisticated system of governance, fostered economic prosperity, and embraced cultural diversity, creating an empire that would, at its peak, stretch from the gates of Vienna to the Persian Gulf, leaving an indelible mark on the course of history.